Hey, today let's talk about the newest Hive Buster mission. The Arrowhead developers have left a secret that not many have noticed. This might be a hint that we'll be seeing the new Hive Lord soon. We'll discuss that as well as a glitch you should avoid when playing the latest mission. Speaking of glitches, there's a new infinite grenade glitch I'll be showing you how to do. We'll be going over more unreleased stratagems and much more. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like by tapping the thumbs up button below the video. Let's begin with a secret that some of you might have overlooked. Usually I play at the highest level, so I decided to switch to level 5 difficulty. And I did this solely to take a stroll around the map at a lower difficulty level to get a feel for it. Interestingly though, the location where you deploy the Hive Buster actually emits some peculiar noises, so right here, listen to this. Alright, you can take it with a grain of salt, but those sounds don't resemble anything we've previously heard from the bugs. I have a good feeling that we're essentially going to stir up the hornet's nest. At some point, we could potentially see a Hive Lord emerge. It's something I'm quite excited about, but what do you think about those noises? We're now going to discuss the new infinite grenade glitch and how to do it. The loadout doesn't matter much except that you will want either throwing knives or grenades. Once you have one of those items equipped, go ahead and dive onto a planet. We want to locate a spot from which we can drop to get a stagger effect. After you have found a spot to drop from, you want to use up all of your ammo for your grenades or knives. In this case, I'll be using knives, then I'll show you how to do it with grenades. It's the same concept, just slightly different. Anyways, you should have one knife left. You want to hold the knife back, then drop. As you begin to drop, throw the knife, and you should notice your character does not have any items in its hands. You will now want to tap the Stratagem button to open up the menu. Let go of it and you should have a knife now. Throw that knife and you should see at the bottom the numbers should have changed. The method for grenades is the same, except you do not want to point it at the ground, of course. Instead, throw it forward while dropping down. Some of you might be wondering, why show this? This is an exploit, it's a glitch. This channel really just posts everything, that's why it's called Glitch Unlimited, but I also want to just inform you guys about it, and I'm sure it's going to be patched the next update, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. The second glitch here is something you should watch out for. What can happen during the Hive Buster mission? The location where you send the stratagem down is the location you should avoid. If you respawn back, do not aim for the middle section where the Hive Buster is located at. Instead, go to the outer rim of that area to avoid being sent directly underneath. This happened to me twice. The first time I thought it was because the explosion went off while I was diving, yet there was a slight delay with that. When it happened once more, I was sent underneath without the explosion. Overall, it's best to stay away from spawning anywhere near the Hive Buster location. Next up, let's talk about a fun build that some of you might be missing out on. The recent Viper Commando War Bond included a unique booster that not only enhances your stims, but also increases the sprint speed slightly, making it easier to maneuver around certain objects. And if you pair this up with a medic passive, you are essentially going to be running around, staying alive easily, and also getting yourself out of multiple sticky situations, especially if you are on the highest difficulty. Now, the best weapon, in my opinion, for Terminids, and I'm sure some would agree, is that the Incendiary Breaker Shotgun is the best. You can use this to take out multiple shriekers flying around, and it's great for smaller to medium-sized bugs. And to be fair, it's good against chargers and behemoths because even if you are not hitting their backside, the fire damage itself is inflicting damage. My secondary, on the other hand here, has got to be the grenade pistol for closing holes and dealing damage to smaller to medium-sized bugs. Lastly, I'm sure this one might not be a surprise, but I really enjoy the Incendiary Impact Grenade for taking out groups of Terminids. Now, stratagems, recently the devs have buffed quite a few, giving us more opportunities to use our stratagems. The first one I recommend is the Orbital Gatling Barrage. It has a nice cooldown time, a widespread attack, and you'll find yourself using this more often than not. Next, I recommend the Carpet Bomb. This was not buffed, but it's another stratagem that can be used quite often as well. The next choice can really depend on your playstyle. If you want to remain fairly safe from damage, using something like a shield generator with a flamethrower can be quite effective for dealing damage and staying alive, because you can use your stims to give you a boost and heal you as you wait for shields to regenerate. If the shield backpack is not in your interest, using a jetpack is not a bad choice for getting out of sticky situations and great for staying alive as well, not to mention fun to use. Those are my favorite choices, and the only con is that you will be losing out on something like an orbital or an eagle stratagems. Of course, you can use something else. If you would like to take out Bile Titans, you do not have to use the flamethrower. You can use maybe something like the Quasar Cannon, the spear. Use whatever you feel comfortable with, but those are my recommendations. With that to the side, we're now going to talk about some brand new stratagems unreleased. This right here is going to be a leak. If you guys would not like to see this, then leave now. This leak right here comes straight from Helldivers 2 leaks, and the leaker specifically is going to be Emptiness. A big shout out to him, as well as everyone over there at Helldivers 2 Leaks that provides some good information for us to take a look at. So with that information to the side, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these brand new stratagems. We are first going to take a look at two brand new grenade launchers, one stun and the other being incendiary. Now, Emptiness has taken the liberty of placing down some stats here on the right side. For armor penetration, it's 6, and the explosion radius is 10 meters. This one right here will be quite useful against bots, especially those hulks. That way you can kind of maneuver around them and take out the backside. And yeah, I plan on using this specifically for that. The incendiary variant here does have an explosion of 150, 50, and armor penetration is 3 for explosion and 4 for fire. Explosion radius is 7 meters, and this information again was brought to you by Emptiness, and shout out to him. This right here is another grenade launcher I cannot wait to use. This is going to be quite effective against the Terminids, and it looks insane. The explosion radius of that fire is just incredible. Hopefully nothing is changed once this is officially released, but you never know with the Arrowhead developers. If you're not into grenade launchers, then you might be into the next one, which is going to be the ST-1 Stinger. The damage on this is 500 for direct, 150 for explosion, armor penetration is 4430 direct, and 3 explosion. And the explosion radius is 12 meters, so slightly larger than the grenade launcher. What you will notice right here, that the UI is very similar to the spear, right? You have the same circle, the tracking, the triangle, and whatnot, so it's quite similar. But on that note, this right here could change. We could see a big change once it's officially released, but as of right now, this is what it looks like. And last but not least, this right here is going to be the mission's clan station carpet bombing run. And Emptiness has left us some stats right here on the bottom that states damage 1200, armor penetration 6 for explosion, and explosion radius is 16 meters. This stratagem is quite powerful, and you're going to see the explosion radius and the explosion overall, and I'm telling you, this one without a doubt will be a fan favorite if it's implemented the same as we see here. The explosion radius is just incredible with the massive amount of damage that is inflicted. It actually takes out quite a few, and I would say this would be incredible for taking out several fabricators, or if you need to close up a bunch of holes, then you can definitely do that on a Terminid planet with this. These by far are the best stratagems in my opinion, and it's been some time since we have received a brand new stratagem. I think the last one we have received was the Airburst rocket launcher, and I believe that's it. So with that being said, this is your Helldivers 2 news. If you guys would like to be featured in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below. The first comment here is by Jack the Ripper 7935. A fire-focused warbond, I am in. Please AH, for the love of God, give us the fire-resistant perk we want. The second comment is by G80GZT. This person says, the spear not targeting fabs is a bug. Was in the patch notes directly on the spear's patch notes. Do people just no longer read half the words they see? And last but not least, we have Kyle Page 7491, who says, the nerf to the recoilless rifle was unintended. So Alexis got his grimy hands on it and nerfed it without anyone catching him. Gotcha. Thank you guys for sending your comments in the last video. Again, if you guys would like to be featured, all you have to do is comment down below. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video.